Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, which is Maseches Taanis Daf Beis. We begin right at the Mishnah. Mei Mosai Maskirin Gvuros Geshamim. Starting at which point in the year do we begin to insert the phrase Mashiv Ruach Umur Dageshem into our Shemona Esrei? Why is it considered Gvuros Geshamim? Perhaps let's take a look at Rashi inside on the top line. Mei Mosai Maskirin Gvuros Geshamim. Explains Rashi. She'omer Mashiv Ruach Umur Dageshem. Ubegemara Farish Tama. The Gemara will explain why. Amai Korile Gvuros Geshamim. Why is it considered the Gvura? Because it comes down in a display of Hashem's strength. So rain is associated with Gvuras Hashem, as the Gemara will explain, and therefore we consider it Gvuros Geshamim. So getting back to the Mishnah, Mosai Maskirin Gvuros Geshamim. What's the starting point of Mashav Urach Omer Dageshem? We have several shitas. Rabbi Yehuda Kessler, starting the first day of Sukkot. It's called Chag, it says the Taanis Yantiv, because they used to celebrate with the Simchas Beis HaShe'eva, singing and dancing in circles. Chag Mochig is a lashon of circle. So it's the first day of Sukkot. That's the starting point of Mashav Ruach Umur Dageshem. Rabbi Yehuda Eimer, no. Miyom Teva Achron Shel Chag. You start on the last day, on the 8th day, Shmini Atzeres. Why? Amalei Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda turns to Rabbi Elazar. Since we know that rain during Sukkot is a negative phenomenon, it's not a siman bracha, it doesn't allow us to sit in the sukkah. Lamahu maskir. So why would he refer to rain during Sukkot when it's not really a welcome phenomenon? Amar lo Rabbi Elazar. Responds Rabbi Elazar, you're right. I never said we should ask for rain. We don't begin with saying Talamatar on Sukkot. You're right. It's just a question of referring to it, making reference to the concept of rain. Which Hashem brings down in its right time. I'm not asking for the rain now, but now it's close enough to the rain season. It's time to start discussing rain and attributing the power of rain to Hashem, evoking a bracha and a ritzoi, appeasement, and finding favor in Hashem's eyes, so that soon when the rain season does arrive, it will come down the bracha. So it's the time to start being maskir, although I don't really want it now. I'm not actually asking for it now. Amalei Rabbi Yehuda responds, if that's the case, why limit it to a winter time? All throughout the year, Pesach, summertime, you should keep on saying Mashav Ruach Umur Dageshem, praising Hashem, describing the fact that Hashem brings down rain in its appropriate time. Now, just as you agree, of course, we don't do that during the summertime. Here as well, during Sukkot, it's not yet time for rain. Leave it until the end of Sukkot, Shmini Atzeres, which is after Ki Mitzvah Sukkah, then we'll start discussing rain. Continues the Mishnah. In fact, when it comes to She'ela, all agree, Ein She'elin is Akshamim, Elo Samach Akshamim. To actually request for rain, V'sein Talamotel Avracha, that's only Samach Akshamim, in close proximity to the rain season. This only begins after Sukkot. Regarding Haskara, we have this machlokes. Rabbi Yehuda Eimer, here comes a third shita. He seems to follow more or less Rabbi Yehuda's approach. You don't have Haskaras Geshamim during Sukkot when we sit in the Sukkah. Only begin at Shmini Atzeres on Yom Tov Achron Shel Chag, but he adds another element. He says do it when everybody's around, do it during daytime, and even during daytime, only start during Musaf. Rabbi Yehuda Eimer ha'Iver Lefnei HaTeva, the one who passes before the Aron, meaning the Shliach Tzibur, b'Yom Tov Achron Shel Chag, on that last day of Sukkot, Shmini Atzeres, ha'achri masker, only the Baal Musaf begins mentioning Mashav Ruach Umur Dageshem. Harushin in a masker, but the Baal Tefillah for Shachris doesn't make mention of it. You only begin by Musaf time, and Taanis explains for us based on Yerushalmi. The reason is because at night, that's not a time to start. Not everybody's around at night. What about the morning? He says if you'll start in the morning, people are going to think, we must have started last night. Maybe I wasn't there last night, so I didn't hear, but really you start at night. So to avoid any confusion, we start during Musaf. Everybody was here during Shachris, no Masha Baruch. During Musaf, suddenly we begin Masha Baruch. It's pretty clear. Now it's the starting point, and everybody will start together as one, as a tzibur, to be masker, Masha Baruch Merd HaGeshem. So that's the basis of Rabbi Yehuda's Shita. Start when everybody's here, in a way that it's visible and public to all. So that's regarding Masker Geshem. We start at the last day Musaf. When do we stop? Pesach. When? Pesach. B'yom Tov Harishon Shel Pesach. When it's the first day of Pesach, Harishon Masker. The Baal Shachris will still mention Geshem. Ha'achon Eine Masker. Come Musaf, they stop. This way, once again, it's clearly visible to all. And this is the time to stop, and we all stop at once. Let's take a look at Rashi again. 3 lines from the top of the Amud. So the Bishul responds to Rabbi Yehuda, how can you mention rain, which is a siman klola b'chagheim? Kedamrinu Masechah Sukkah Perkei Yoshin. Memasa mutal afanis. At what point can one leave a sukkah? Mishat tisrach hamikpa, once his food, once his broth gets spoiled from the raindrops. Mashal evet, it's a mashal to a servant. Shabbat limzei Kessler Rabbi. He's coming to serve his master. And what happens? He rejects him. And he spills the whole pitcher into his face. I'm not interested in you serving me. So likewise, when it comes to rain on sukkahs, we have to leave. It appears like Hashem is rejecting our service. And if so, why would we start mentioning Lahaske Gvurus Kishom B'chag V'nir Shom Espalish Yevamata B'chag? It appears like he wants rain. So leave it out until you finish with mitzvahs sukkah. Rabbi Yehuda responds, you're right. I never said we should ask for rain. She spelled like Shom B'chag Kigoyin V'sein Talamot Lahasker. I just spoke about being masker. Shemask Lahasker B'chag Gvurus Shal Mokim Shemard Gishom B'Nosa Klam Bezmanai. Today we begin referring to the concept of rain. It's close enough to the rain season. It's time to start discussing it. And of course, the actual rain should come in its right time, not today. Im Kain, Rabbi Yehoshua responds, then do it all around the year. Why would you stop at Pesach? So the truth is, Taanis brings, based on the Gemara later, that Rabbi Yehuda truthfully holds that you can be masker Geshem throughout the whole year. But there is no chiv until Sukkot comes around, which is close enough to the time of She'ela. And he says there's a chiv l'ratza, is to arouse favor, appeasement, find favor in Hashem's eyes before the She'ela. Before you ask, you attribute it to Hashem and you bring it back to the source. Your makir that's coming from Hashem, and that garners a schus on your behalf, so that when you have this She'ela coming up, you'll be zeicha to a bracha. Fine, so we have 3 shitos in the Mishnah regarding the Mei Masai, the starting point of Askoras Gvuros Geshamim. Rabbi Yehuda, Yom Tov Rishon Shel Chag, Rabbi Yehoshua, Yom Tov Achron. Rabbi Yehuda holds Musaf of Yom Tov Achron. Asks the Gemara, Tana Hechakoi. Our Tana begins with the question, Mei Masai, as though it's a given. You say Masha Baruch, just from when? Where's he coming from? How do we know about the concept of Masha Baruch Merd HaGeshem? Tana Hechakoi. What's he referring to? The Tani Me'emasai, which would generate the question Me'emasai. Tana Hasam Koi is going back to Mishnah and Bracha. So Tani Maskirin Gvuros Geshamim B'Tchiyas HaMesim. We speak about rain in the Bracha of Tchiyas HaMesim, the second Bracha of Shemana Esrei. V'Shailan, the request for rain, however, is B'Birchas Hashanim in Baruch Aleinu. V'Havdalah, that's B'Chodein Hadas. Atachay Antonu on a Matzah Shabbos belongs in the 4th Bracha Chodein Hadas. So, having said that, we have the question. So, what's the starting point? When do we begin? Gvuros Geshamim Uktani, and that's why the Mishnah follows with the question. V'Masai Maskirin Gvuros Geshamim. Okay, if listening Hassam, then this Mishnah belongs in Seder's Ryan with that Mishnah. Why do we have to wait till Seder Moed, at the end of Seder Moed, to discuss it? Ma'ishna, why is it the Shavki Adhacha? He left it until now. So that can't be the point of reference of our Tana. Ella, rather, Tana, Rosh Hashanah Salk. He's coming from Rosh Hashanah, which according to many is the Masechta that precedes Taanis. Well, we have a Mishnah as follows, the Snan. Ubechag nidoin in alamayim. We had 4 prakim, 4 times a year where there is a judgment. Sukkot is a time for mishpat regarding the coming year's water supply, rain, etc. Having said that, va'ayde detana ubechag nidoin in alamayim, knowing that Chag is critical for the next year's water supply, the Tana figures, look, it's appropriate to start discussing it and start finding favor in Hashem's eyes. Start attributing rain to Hashem and bringing about bracha from Hashem. And therefore, Tana me'imasai, the Tana says, me'imasai maskir and gvuras geshamim. I understand you should mention something about Geshem and get into the mode of being miratz Hashem and eventually get to the point of asking Hashem. So what's the point? When you begin Haskaras Geshamim, Mishnah responds with several shittas. Says Rashi off to the right. Once the Mishnah spoke about the fact that Chag is the time of din on Mayim, Tana just figures on his own. Since Chag is the time of din on Mayim, I would assume it's appropriate and in place to mention things about Mayim, to appease Hashem, to find favor when it comes regarding water. The laisu, the bracha, that it should come with abundance and bracha. So that as a given, we need to know the starting point. Here comes the next question. What's the starting point of this haskara? Let's go back to the Gemara. Okay, so we know where the Tana is coming from. A Mishnah Rosh Hashanah. It's in place to be masked gvuras geshamim, to meshabech and praise Hashem on account of water. And we know the starting point. It's either Yom Tov Rishon, Yom Tov Achron, etc. Now regarding the wording of the Mishnah, how do we understand the way the Mishnah phrased it? Gvuras geshamim. What does that mean? V'lisni me'imasai maskirin alak shamim. Mishnah could have said, when do we begin discussing rain? My gvuras geshamim, why is it referring to a gvura? Why is it associated with power and strength? On Rabbi Yehuda, you know why Meshayardim Gvura comes down? But Gvura, it's an expression of Hashem's power. The Paris Yosef says, Gvuras Halev is what the Gemara means. Hashem gives and gives despite the fact that we aren't necessarily deserving. So Hashem restrains himself, so to speak, and still gives us. That's the Gvura displayed with the coming down of that rain. Shenemar oisa gedolos adein cheker, v'niflois adein misper. So we find that the pasuk in describing rain refers to it as something which is ein cheker, beyond comprehension. So we have a group of psukim in Eiv, pasuk tes, pasuk yud. We find a description of the raining process, and the pasuk here associates that with the concept of ein cheker, beyond comprehension. Okay, now what does that have to do with gvura? My mashma, how do you learn gvura from here? Amar Rabba Bar Shila ase cheker cheker. We connect the word cheker over here to the word cheker elsewhere. Mebri'asa shel olam, mentioned when Hashem created the world. And over there we find the lashon of gvura, so we bring that over here, we apply that to this case as well. Rain is an expression of Hashem's power. Where do we find cheker by bria so'ilam? Ksiv hacha oisa gedolos adein cheker. So over here by rain we have the lashon adein cheker. Ksiv hasam by bria so'ilam, it says halo yadato moisha mata. Elokei oilam Hashem boirei k'tzei sa'aretz. Hashem creates the world. Lo yiga lo yif lo yiga. Hashem doesn't tire. His wisdom is beyond comprehension. So we see that beyond comprehension is the phrase associated with Bria So'ilam. And what else does it say by Bria So'ilam? Uksiv meichen horim b'koichai nezer b'gvura. So we see that Hashem prepared the mountains, He created the world with Gevura. So you see that creation of this world is connected to Ein Cheker and to Gevura. Likewise over here by Motar, by rain, we find the Lashon Cheker, we connect it to Brias Olam, just as over there. It's associated with power and strength here as well. Geshamim, our expression of Hashem's Gevura. That's why it's called Gevuras Geshamim. In fact, we actually inserted into that bracha, which begins with the words Ato Gibor L'Olam Hashem. So all those items mentioned in that bracha are an expression of Hashem's powers, might, and Gvura. Umanol the B'Tefillah. Now, why do we insert it dafka into Tefillah? Fine, so you meant to make mention of Hashem's power, Masha Baruch, Merid Geshem, but why specifically into Shmoneh Esrei? The Sanyu La'avas Hashem Elokeichem La'avdei B'chol Levavchem. This is the second parsha of Krishma. So you love Hashem and you serve Him B'chol Levavchem. What exactly is this? How do you serve with your heart? Which service is associated to one's emotions, one's heart, purification of a leiv? Havi Omer Zu Tefillah. This is the Tefillah process which purifies a person's heart and spiritualizes his emotions and bonds him with Hashem. So when we speak about L'Avdei B'chol Levavchem, it's the act of Tefillah. And what does it say right afterwards? Uksiv Basrei V'nosati Matar Aretzachem B'itoy Yireh Malkush. On account of that, Avodah Shebalev, you bonding to Hashem through Tefillah, you will have rain. So apparently, Tefillah is the time to focus on all brachas, including the concept of rain. Be masked Gevuras Geshamim, be maratza, be mafayis, praise, find favor, appease, which will generate a bracha. Oh, Rabbi Yehuda. We find that there were three keys, so to speak, that were always left in the hands of Hashem, and not given over to an emissary. So Hashem has the sole power when it comes to these three things. What are they? Number one, the key to rain, access to rain. Of giving birth. All these are in the hands of Hashem. Now there's Machlokes Rashi and Taisus how to learn the Gemara. Rashi learns 2 lines from the bottom. You see, Rashi has a kasha. Taisus brings. We find that these keys, these abilities, were handed over to Malachim at certain points in history. The Avteich of rain was given over to Eliyahu Navi. He also had access to Tchias HaMesim. Likewise, Elisha did Tchias HaMesim. So you have several kashas on this Gemara, and therefore Rashi learns the Gemara just means all three weren't given over to one person, one shliach, one malach at once. These three things are immense powers which touch the core of the world, sustenance of the world, Tchias HaMesim. They weren't all given over to a shliach at once. Taisus learns differently. He means that although temporarily, for the time being, perhaps it was given over to someone, but not on a regular basis, not l'olam, permanently. Okay, where do we find these three maftechas? Says the Gemara 2 lines from the bottom, Maftech shel Geshamim, d'chsev yiftach Hashem, Hashem has an exclusive ability to open up for you. Yiftach Hashem l'chos, et tzorah toiv es hashamayim, losis metar aretzacha be'itoy. We see that rain comes solely from Hashem. Maftech shel chayim menayim. What about the ability to give birth? D'chsev yiskor lakim esrach. So it came directly from Hashem. Vayishma eleho elakim v'yiftach esrach. What about Maftech shel Tchias HaMesim? Menayim d'chsev yidatem ki ani Hashem. This is Lasa Lava. You will see that Hashem did Tchias HaMesim and Fis Tchias Kivrei Seich. Marova Amri, and it's Yisrael, they added a fourth to the list. Av Maftech shel Parnasa, the key to sustenance. D'chsev Poesech Sedecha. Hashem is the one that is Maspia. Hashem is the one, not a Shliach. For Rabbi Yehuda, my time like a chashav laha. Why didn't Rabbi Yehuda add Parnasa to his list? Amalach, because he said, look, Geshamim, Haina Parnasa. I already said Geshamim, which is just another way of describing sustenance, and Parnasa on all levels. Okay, getting back to the Mishnah, what's the starting point of Askaras Geshamim? We have 3 shitas. Blazo Eimer, Yom Tov Rishon Shel Chag. Now the Gemara wants to know, at what point on Yom Rishon do you begin Haskaras Geshamim? Is it Mariv, or do you have to wait until daybreak Shachris? Iboilu, the Bnei Yeshiva asked the following shaila. Rabbi Lezer Mehecha Gomerla. Where was Rabbi Lezer's source? Where is he coming from? That you start Haskaras Geshamim on day 1 of Sukkot. Milulav Gomerla. Should we assume he's coming from Lulav? Just as Lulav and the Esrog and all the Minim are dependent on rain for their sustenance. And actually, the Gemara in Sukkah indicates that shaking that Lulav brings about Ritzah and appeasement as per the coming year's rain season. So Lulav is a time to start discussing rain, and Haskaras Geshamim fits right into that. So is that as a starting point? Lulav? Or perhaps it's sourced in a slightly different makar, Nisach HaMayim, which also happens during Sukkot. And Nisach HaMayim is sort of the carbon, which is coming to address the coming year's rain season. And perhaps that's the indication to begin Masha Baruch Merde Geshem on Sukkot. Now, what would be the nafkamina? What's the halachic nafkamina? Whether he learns it from Lulav or from Nisach HaMayim. The Gemara explains, Milulav Gomerla, is he coming from Lulav? And therefore we say, Ma Lulav B'yoyim, certainly mitzvah Lulav only begins by day. Av Haskora B'yoyim, likewise, Haskoras HaGeshem begins only by day, by Shachris. Or Dilma Nisach HaMayim Gomerla, or perhaps is he coming from Nisach HaMayim? And therefore we say, Ma Nisach HaMayim Mu'urta, although, as Taanis brings, of course, practically, they would pour water on the Mizbeach only with the Tamid Shel Shachar, but technically you can be Menasach Mayim even during the first night of Sukkot. Da'amar Mars we learn U'minachasam and Eskem Afilu B'Layla, Menachas and Esacham can be brought even at night. So technically Nisach Mayim can take place even at night, and therefore Af Haskara Mu'urta, likewise Haskaras Geshamim should begin the previous night, the first night of Sukkot. So is it then, or is it the following morning? Tashma, let's bring a raya. Da'amar Rabbi Avo, Lo'ilam de Rabbi Lezer, Elamei Lulav. He's coming from Lulav, which only begins by day. And Haskaras Geshamim likewise starts in the morning. Ikadamri. Now there were 2 versions of how Rabbi Avo knew this. Ikadamri Rabbi Avo Gemara Gomerla. He had a Kabbalah tradition that Rabbi Lezer was coming from Lulav. There's another version that must Nisa Shmiele Ravo derived this from a brisa. Mahi, which brisa? The Sanya. We have a brisa as follows. The brisa begins with the same question as our Mishnah. What's the starting point of Haskaras Geshem? In this brisa, we're going to have several shittas again. Rabbi Lezer, Mishas Natilas Lulav. Oh, here it is. So he holds you begin at the first day of Sukkot, which is the time of Natilas Lulav. It's pretty clear. Lulav provides that precedent, that source. You want to begin at the morning, as opposed to the previous night. This was Rabbi Avo's raya. So that's shita number 1. Rabbi Sho'ema Mishas Anachasai. You don't begin on day 1 of Sukkot. It's a simon klola. Rather, you wait until you put down that lulav, which basically means after 7 days of Sukkot, and then you begin Haskaras Geshamim. Here comes a debate. Omar Rabbi Lezer. Why would you wait? Start at the beginning of Sukkot. Lulav is that trigger point for Haskaras Geshamim. Hoil Varbas Minan Halol. Since we know these 4 minim, Lulav, Esrog, Halas, and Arava, Einon Boin, Ella Leratus Alamayim. The point is to come and appease Hashem and to bring about bracha and a shefa regarding the year's water supply. What is this connected to the 4 minim? Because they are sustained and grown by way of water, and therefore when we shake them, we have maratz alamayim, we bring bracha for mayim, right? Because these 4 minim need water to sustain themselves. Likewise, the world needs water for its sustenance. So it's a parallel situation. Arba minim are connected to water. The ritzi of the arba minim is meant to bring about a bracha, and therefore I say, Masha Baruch Umar Geshem fits right into the picture. And it starts day 1 of Sukkot. I'm a little bit sure. So it's interesting. Here we have Rabbi Lezer's full position. The Mishnah only had his shita, his opinion. Here we have the full position. Look, it's connected to Lulav, which begins on day 1. That's when you begin discussing and be maratza on Mayim. I'm a little bit sure. What do you mean? How can you do that? Rain during Sukkot, it's not a good sign. Leave it out until you finish sitting in the Sukkah. Amar B'Lerza, you're right. I'm not discussing she'ela, requesting. Who says to ask? Make reference to it. Start getting into the sugya of rain. You agree with me that Tchias HaMesim, you mentioned all year round. When does it happen? All year round? It's going to be one specific zman of Tchias HaMesim. We still mention all year round. We want it to happen all year round. Likewise, when it comes to rain, I'm not expecting all year round. But why not mention it all year round as well? Despite the fact that it's only meant to come in its right time. And you're right. Just as Tchias HaMesim is something that's all year round, likewise, when it comes to Haskaras Geshamim, I maintain it's up to you. You have the option of a masker, Mashav Ruach Mered Geshem, throughout the entire year. But of course, as Taisus mentioned, the Chiv only begins at this point, which is in close proximity to the Zman of Geshamim. But if you choose, you can be masker the entire year. Rebbe disagrees. Rabbi Omer, he says no. Omer, my position is no. Mishah shemafsek l'she'ela. At the point when he stops asking for rain, kach mafsek l'haskara, likewise you stop mentioning it. So Rabbi follows Rabbi Shur's approach. Don't connect this to Tchias HaMesim. The Gemara soon will explain why not. Rain is different. Rain is only expected during the rain season. You ask for it then, and you mention it then. And therefore, he says, on Sukkot, it should be off the table, because it's not a Siman Brach. Okay, so far we have how many Shittas? Rabbi Lezer says you start day 1 of Sukkot. Rabbi Shur says day 8. Rabbi Yehuda Kessler Omer, B'Sheni b'Chagu Masker. You begin on day 2 of Sukkot. We're going to learn soon, because he holds that Nisach HaMayim, which is the catalyst, the source for the concept of Haskaras Geshem, only begins on day 2 of Sukkot. So that's the starting point of Haskaras Geshem. Rabbi Kiva, Rabbi Shishi b'Chagu Masker. He maintains Nisach HaMayim only begins on day 6 of Sukkot, and Haskaras Geshem is associated with that. You start on day 6. Here comes another Shita. Rabbi Yehuda, right? Rabbi Yehuda, we had this in the Mishnah. Mishum Rabbi Shua Eimer. He quotes Rabbi Shua differently. And actually, the Gemara Naf Gimel will tell us that this is a different Rabbi Shua ben Nesera. So this is yet another Shita, that we start on day 8, but not in the morning. The Chazan, who is davening on the last day of Sukkot, it's only the second Chazan, the one that's davening Musaf. He starts Haskaras Geshem, Harishan in Masker, but not the one in the morning for Shachris. Similarly, when it comes to stopping Mashav Ruach, B'Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, when it comes to the first day of Pesach, Harishan Masker, the first one still maintains Haskara, Ha'achar in Masker, but the Baal Musaf stops it, and this is in full view of the full crowd that's there. They'll all stop as one. So you split the day into 2. When it comes to starting, you start at Musaf. When it comes to stopping, you stop at Musaf as well. So we have a total of 5 Shittas regarding the starting point of Haskaras Geshamim. Day 1 of Sukkot, day 2, day 6, day 8, day 8, Musaf. Now, Rabbi Shua asked Rabbi Lezer, you're mentioning rain during Sukkot when it's inappropriate and unwelcome? Rabbi Lezer responds, I'm just mentioning Hashem's ability to bring down rain whenever it comes. Just as you mentioned Tchias HaMesim all year round. Shapeh ka'amar le Rabbi Lezer b'Shua. Rabbi Lezer's argument to Rabbi Shua seems to be a valid argument. He's comparing to Tchias HaMesim. Rabbi Shua responds, you can't compare. Bishlam Tchias HaMesim, Masker. You know why you mentioned Tchias HaMesim? To kul yom zimnu. It's fitting at any time. We always want Tchias HaMesim. So yeah, all year round, it's perfectly in place. Elo Geshamim, as opposed to rain. Kol emas ta'asyin zimanayihi. They mean to say that whenever it rains, it's welcome, it's appropriate? That's not true. Vatnan, we have a Mishnah. Yotza Nisan of Yodu Geshamim. If it starts raining after Sukkot, after Nisan, siman klolaim. It's a bad omen. It's not a good sign. It's not the right time. It's the time to have dry fields and prepare for harvesting. Shnemar like tzirchitu mayim. So how could you compare? Geshem to Tchias HaMesim. We had another shita. Rabbi Yehuda Kessler Omer. B'Sheni b'Chag u'Masker we begin on day 2 of Sukkot. Why? My time Rabbi Yehuda Kessler. He connects it to Nisach HaMayim, which begins at day 2. The Sanya, Rabbi Yehuda Kessler Omer. How do we know that we're meant to pour water on the Mizbeach on Sukkot? Nemar B'Sheni, on the second day of Sukkot, the pasuk says V'Niskeihem, which is an extra mem at the end. It could have said V'Nisachel. Extra mem. V'Nemar B'Shishi, on the 6th day of Sukkot, it says V'Nisacheha. It could have said V'Niska. It's an extra yud. V'Nemar B'Shvi, K'mishpatam, on the 7th day, K'mishpatam, an extra mem at the end. Hare mem, yud mem. We have an extra mem, a yud and a mem, which equals Hare kan maim. The word maim, mikan remez. This is a source, l'nisach hamayim in Torah. They meant to be menasach maim on Sukkot. U'ma'ishna b'sheni denakad. Oh, so why does Rabbi Yehuda Kessler maintain that you start Haskaras Geshem on day 2 of Sukkot? Answer is very pasha. Dechi remizi lu b'kra b'sheni remizi. Take a look at the remez in the pasuk. When does the remez begin? On day 2. And therefore day 2 is the perfect time to start Haskaras Geshem, which relates to the carbon, to the Nisach HaMayim, which is all coming to accomplish the same feat. Ma'ira Rachmim, to bring about favor and appeasement and Ritzah and Bracha. And the next year is rain supply. That's Rabbi Yehuda's Shita. Day 2 is the starting point. Rabbi Kiva Omer B'Shishi B'Chag u'Masker, you begin at day 6. Why? Because here's another source for Nisach HaMayim, which is associated with day 6. Shenama B'Shishi, on the 6th day of Sukkot, it says, U'Nisochel, Aloshan Rab. We learn from here. B'Shnei Nesuch and HaKosem Medaber. Torah is referring to 2 types of pouring on the Mizbeach. Echad Nisach HaMayim, one of water. V'echad Nisach HaYayin, one of wine. Oh, so Nisach HaMayim is referenced in day 6. So that's the starting point of the carbon Nisach HaMayim, and that's the perfect time to start B'Mirat Hashem regarding water. Ve'imar Tavar Dechamer. How does he know that the 2 Nesuchim, one is wine, one is water, perhaps a double portion of wine? Because the truth is that he follows Rabbi Yehuda Kessler's remez as well. The Amar Remizi Maya. He had the mem and the yud and the mem, and Rabbi Kiva also follows that track. He knows that it's going to be water. Well, if he follows Rabbi Yehuda, let him go all along. Let him go along all the way with him. Meaning, Mem Yud Mem starts on day 2. Right? The first Mem is on day 2. So Rabbi Kiva should agree that Nisach starts on day 2. If he needs Rabbi Yehuda Kessler's drush anyways. Because some Rabbi Kiva, it's a double-pronged drush. The basis of the drush is Nisachel, which is not day 6. Lashon Rabbim. Twice pouring. Now, what are you pouring? Okay, so that we need Rabbi Yehuda Kessler's remez. Mem Yud Mem. But it's just here to clarify and to elaborate on this drush of day 6, Unisachel, which is really the time to start your Nisach. So that's what he maintains. Nisach begins on day 6, and likewise, Masha Baruch Amar Geshem begins on day 6. One more piece of Gemara, another source for Nisach HaMayim on Sukkot. Tanya, the pasuk says about Kodesh, Hasech Nesech Sheichel Hashem. It's a double lashon. Hasech Nesech. We learn B'Shnei Nesuch and HaKosem Medaber. Torah is referring to twice pouring. Echad Nisach HaMayim, V'echad Nisach HaYayin. Now we know that on Sukkot you pour twice. How do you know one is wine, one is water? Perhaps double wine. The pasuk should say Lichtav Kra Hasech Hasech. We should keep the lashonis consistent. Hasech Hasech. Nesech Nesech. Why do we have that inconsistency? My Hasech Nesech, 2 different types of terms. Shabbos, no, here the Torah is trying to point out, to indicate that it's 2 different types of pourings. Chad the Maya, one of water, v'chad the Chamra, one of wine. So here's the makar for Nisach HaYayin, Nisach HaMayim, on Sukkot. Okay, so in summary, how many shittas do we have regarding Meimasa, Maskir, and Gvuras Keshamim? We have a total of 5 shittas. Up to this point, Rabbi Lezer says day 1 of Sukkot is associated with Lulav that begins on day 1. Rabbi Yehuda Kessler says day 2, it's associated with Nisach Hamayim, which is derived from the extra Mem, Yud Mem. The drasha begins on day 2. That's the trigger point of Nisach Hamayim. Rekiva says day 6 of Sukkot is the time for Askaris Geshamim, again associated with Nisach Hamayim. It begins on day 6, learned from the pasuk Nisacheha, which was actually said regarding day 6. We have Rabbi Yeshua as presented by Rabbi Yehuda, right? Rabbi Yehuda b'shem Rabbi Yeshua. He says you begin Askaris Geshamim on day 8 by Musaf. Why not on Sukkot itself? It's a Simaklola. Why do we wait till Musaf? Because that's when the Tzibur will become mindful of the fact that we switched gears and we switched into the Mashiv Ruach mode. Whereas Rabbi Yeshua in the Mishnah seems to hold, we don't have to wait till Musaf. You begin on day 8, Shmini Atzeres, but you start by Iris. On the previous night, we don't do it throughout Sukkot. Of course, the Simaklola, wait for the Yom Tov of Sukkot to be over. Meshas HaNachoseh, once you put down that Lulav, that's when we begin Mashiv Ruach Umored Hagesh. Okay, let's quickly summarize today's daf. We started with the question. We had all the shitos. Why is it that we call it Gvuras Geshamim? It's an expression of Hashem's might and power. In fact, the Gemara says this is one of the mafteches which are solely in the hands of Hashem. Why is it specifically inserted into Tefillah? La'avdoi b'chol lavavchem avodah shebelev zu Tefillah. Now we have the reference to rain coming up in the psukim afterwards to indicate that Tefillah has to address rain as well. We learned about the Gimel Avteches Shilei Nimsru L'Shliach Geshamim Parnasa Chaya giving birth and Tchias HaMesim. We had several sources for Nisach Hamayim on Sukkot, either the Mem, the Yud, the Mem, or V'nisocheh Ha Lashon Ravim, or Hasech Nesech to indicate a double pouring Echot Shamayim Ve'echot Shal Yain. Kol tov to you and much hatzlacha.